Today on Dylan Talks Tone, we're going to talk about no-load tone pots. Hey, how's it going? My name is Dylan, and this is Dylan Talks Tone. The other day, we did a video about how pots work, and then we talked about 500K versus 250K pots in another video. We'll put some links to those videos right up here. And then somebody asked us, and we talked a little bit more about no-load tone pots. So what's the difference between a regular tone pot and a no-load tone pot? The easiest way to do it is let's take another one apart. We'll throw it up here in the box, we'll look at it, and let me show you what the difference is physically in the pot, and then I'm going to demonstrate what the sound difference is in the pot and where you might want to use it. First of all, let's talk about one thing. Don't use it for a volume pot, and I'll show you why in a minute, but they work really good for tone pots, okay? So no matter whether you have 250s, 500s, it doesn't matter. This is just kind of an added little feature that's super cool. So let's throw the tone pot up in the box right here, and this will be in a disassembled fashion. You see the way the regular volume pot works. We talked about this before, where we've got a resistor that goes all the way around the outside, and then there's an output in the middle. Now, it's the same thing for a no-load tone pot, but if you notice over here on this side, you'll see that that black circle that goes around the outside, it actually doesn't connect up with that last lug. And the reason for that is as soon as it gets all the way up at that very top point, when you turn the knob all the way to 10, it disconnects from the circuit completely so that the pot's not even in there. Why would you do this? Remember the other day when we talked about how pots work, that they always add a little bit of resistance to the circuit. And what that means is when we add some resistance to the circuit, we take the potential from closer to ground by whatever the number is, 500K or 250K, and the closer we come to ground with that, the more highs we lose. So sometimes people will want to say, well, I want a certain point where I don't want that in there at all to give me that little bit extra edge. Take the resistance of the pot completely out of it, even when the volume is on 10. That pot right there cuts that very little end out. And on these pots, we use Bourne's pots. They have a little detent on them, and it makes it to where it kind of clicks when it goes into that little setting so you know you're there. And when you turn out of that click just a little bit, like down to 9, then your tone pot starts to work again. And so it gives you a little bit of a boost on the signal. If you're interested in trying this, we'll put a link up here, and I'll show you where to get them. We carry them at Dylan Talks Tone. They're really cool. Let's grab a guitar, and we'll play some, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so what we've got here in the Kemper is just a Fender super reverb, clean sort of thing with a little bit of reverb on it. So we're going to go ahead and turn everything to 10, and we're just going to play a couple of notes. Back to 9. Back to 10. As you can see, it's very, very subtle. You might be listening to this right now saying, I can't even tell a difference. Over the internet, you might not be able to because of however the internet does things. In the room with the speaker right next to me right here, I can hear it really, really clearly. It gives it a higher, there's some more highs in there, a little bit crisper. And you got to remember that the lower the resistance of the pot, the more drastic this is. There's 500K pots in here, and this is with a humbucker. If you were to do this, for instance, with a Strat or a Tele with 250K pots and then put that in there, man, it would be like edgy and sharp. I don't have a guitar like that right now. This is the only one I have one of these in. But that just kind of gives you an idea. It's going to give you that nice toppy, real crystal clear. And sometimes, depending on the guitar and the setup and how you use it, when you put some drive to it, you can get some real nice, almost boosted sort of sound with it. If you can't really hear this, I kind of get it. Over the internet, sometimes you don't. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. I don't like doing A/B tests. It's something that is way easier heard in the room. I've got the speaker right here, and I can hear the clarity of everything. It sounds fantastic in the room, and you can really tell the difference. So if you want to really try to break that down, go ahead and rewind the video and play it back and forth a couple of times. I'm not going to do a 10-minute long A/B test demo video. You know I don't like those. It doesn't make any sense. Everybody's guitar setup is a little bit different based on what pickups they have, what pots they have, and how they use the rest of their rig. You got to zoom out and look at this as like a whole package. Do I want a little bit more high frequency in my sound? This is an easy way to get it without changing a bunch of stuff. That being said, you don't always hear it depending on the circumstances. So you listening right now, it's possible that you don't. I recommend to give it a shot. Try it. Don't use it on a volume pot, because when you turn it to 10, then the volume won't work, so you won't get any sound. Just use it on a tone pot. There's a link up there where you can get it from Dylan Talks Tone. They're not that expensive. Throw it in, give it a shot, and see what you think. Let me know if you like that option to be able to cut that completely out of the circuit. I think it's really, really cool. If you have a question about this kind of stuff or anything else having to do with wiring, guitar setup, all that kind of stuff, do me a favor and ask a question in the comments below, and we'll make a video just for you. Hit the subscribe button, and then maybe you'll know the next time we do a cool video like this. Hit the little notification button next to it, and we'll see you next time. My name is Dylan. This is Dylan Talks Tone.